5 Appalachian mysteries that defy explanation. In America's oldest mountains, some secrets just refuse to be solved. They're the kind of stories that make science go quiet, and local legends feel a little too real. Here, in the dense forests and shadowed hollows of Appalachia, the line between our world and whatever's next feels unsettlingly thin. Today, we're exploring 5 Appalachian mysteries that just don't have an easy answer. Our first story starts with a phenomenon that's been lighting up the sky and local ghost stories for centuries. Section 1. The Brown Mountain Lights. For well over a century, a strange and beautiful light show has been playing out over Brown Mountain, North Carolina. Witnesses describe them as silent, glowing orbs that hover and dance above the ridge. Sometimes they drift lazily before winking out. Other times they just vanish in a silent flash. They can show up as white, yellow, or even blue. While widespread media attention really kicked off in the early 1900s, local folklore, including that of the Cherokee, insists the lights are much, much older. One of the most popular legends says they are the ghostly lanterns of maidens, forever searching for warriors lost in a great battle centuries ago. Another story, made famous in a bluegrass song, tells of a faithful slave still searching the mountain with a lantern for his master, long after both have passed on. Naturally, science has tried to step in and find a logical explanation. Back in 1922, a U.S. Geological Survey investigation concluded the lights were just the headlamps of distant trains and cars bent by the atmosphere. It was a neat theory, except for one big problem. In 1916, a massive flood wiped out every single road, railway, and bridge nearby. For months, the area was completely cut off. And yet, the lights kept showing up over Brown Mountain, same as they always had. Modern theories range from swamp gas to ball lightning, but none have fully explained the phenomenon. Even recent studies with sophisticated equipment have captured footage that stumps the experts. One astrophysicist, after studying them for years, recorded a light that held still for over 20 minutes, ruling out any kind of plane or car. He believes that while most sightings are probably misidentified man-made lights, there's a stubborn 10% that are, in his own words, interesting and odd and not easily explained. To this day, the Brown Mountain Lights remain a beautiful, baffling, and haunting mystery. Section 2. The Bell Witch Haunting. Our next story takes us to Adams, Tennessee, for what is arguably the most famous and terrifying poltergeist case in American history. It's a case so chilling, it's often cited as the only time in U.S. history where a death was attributed by the community to a supernatural entity. This is the story of the Bell Witch. It all started in 1817. John Bell, a farmer, was out in his fields when he saw a bizarre animal he described as having the body of a dog and the head of a rabbit. He shot at it, and it disappeared. That night, the real terror began. The family was besieged by relentless pounding on the walls, scratching sounds, and the noise of chains being dragged across the floor. Before long, the unseen entity found its voice. It started as a faint whisper, but grew into a clear voice that identified itself as the witch of a local woman named Kate Batts. The entity seemed to have a special hatred for John Bell and his youngest daughter, Betsy. The torment turned physical. The witch would pull the children's hair and pinch and slap them, leaving welts and marks on their skin. The attacks on Betsy were especially cruel, and often happened when her favored suitor, Joshua Gardner, came to visit. Word got out, and the Bell farm became a grim tourist destination. People came from all over to witness the haunting, including, according to legend, a future president, Andrew Jackson. As the story goes, Jackson's wagon got mysteriously stuck on the road to the farm. It was only when he supposedly exclaimed, "By the eternal boys, it is the witch," that the wheels were freed. The visit was reportedly so frightening that Jackson and his men took off the very next day. The witch's hatred for John Bell ended in his death. His health had been failing for years under the constant torment. In December 1820, he fell into a stupor. A strange vial of dark liquid was found, and the witch's voice was reportedly heard, gleefully proclaiming, "I gave him a big dose of it." The family tested the liquid on their cat, which died almost instantly. John Bell died the next day. After his death, the haunting mostly stopped, though Kate promised to return in 7 years, which some say she did, before vanishing again. Section 3. The Mothman and the Silver Bridge Collapse. In West Virginia, a legend was born from a year of pure terror that ended in a national tragedy. In 1966, the town of Point Pleasant became ground zero for sightings of a creature that would become an icon of paranormal folklore, the Mothman. The first widely reported sighting was on November 15, 1966. 2 young couples were driving near an abandoned World War II munitions plant when they saw it. A 7-foot-tall man-like figure with a 10-foot wingspan and huge glowing red eyes. They sped away, but the creature launched into the air and effortlessly kept pace with their car as it hit 100 miles per hour. Over the next 13 months, over 100 people reported seeing the same creature. The descriptions were all chillingly similar. A winged humanoid with hypnotic, glowing red eyes. Witnesses said the creature seemed to trigger a feeling of pure dread. Paranormal investigator John Keel, who wrote The Mothman Prophecies, connected the sightings to other strange events in the area, like UFOs and mysterious men in black. The wave of sightings came to an abrupt and horrifying halt on December 15, 1967. During rush hour, the Silver Bridge, connecting Point Pleasant to Ohio, suddenly collapsed into the freezing Ohio River. 46 people died in the disaster. Investigators later found the cause was a tiny stress crack in a single piece of the structure. In the wake of the tragedy, a chilling theory took hold. Many locals came to believe the Mothman wasn't a monster, but a harbinger of doom, a supernatural warning. The sightings had been concentrated around the bridge and they all but vanished after it fell. Was this creature trying to warn the people of Point Pleasant? Or was its presence just a dark coincidence, forever tying a local cryptid to a real-world horror? The debate continues, and the town of Point Pleasant now has a statue and a festival dedicated to the enduring mystery. These stories are just scratching the surface of the strangeness in the Appalachian Mountains. If you're finding these mysteries as fascinating as we do, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our future explorations into the unexplained. Now let's get back to the shadows. Section 4. The Phantom Hiker of Grandfather Mountain. But not every spirit in Appalachia is out to cause terror. Some seem to be more like echoes of the past, forever walking the ancient trails. Our fourth mystery takes us back to North Carolina and the majestic Grandfather Mountain, home to the Phantom Hiker. Hikers on the mountain, especially around dusk, report seeing a lone figure. He's described as an older, bearded man in old-fashioned clothes, carrying a simple walking stick and a pack. He looks completely out of place among the modern hikers in their bright, technical gear. The encounter is always the same. He walks with a sense of purpose, never speaking or even looking at people who greet him. He just plods past, staring straight ahead. And then, just like that, he's gone. One moment he's a solid figure on the trail, and the next he has vanished, as if swallowed by the mountain. The disappearance is so sudden that many who see him rush ahead, thinking he must have fallen, but they never find a single trace of him. No one knows who this phantom could be. The spirit of a hiker who perished in the wilderness decades ago, or maybe the ghost of an early settler who loved the mountain so much his spirit simply refuses to leave. The Phantom Hiker isn't known to be malicious. He's just a quiet, unnerving presence. Still, his sudden appearances and impossible disappearances are a chilling reminder that on Grandfather Mountain, you might not be walking alone. Section 5. The Knot Deer and the Wampus Cat. Our final mystery dives into modern folklore and creatures that seem to violate the laws of biology. Appalachia is home to plenty of cryptids, but perhaps the most unsettling are the ones that look almost normal, like the creature locals have dubbed the knot deer. Sightings describe an animal that you'd mistake for a deer at first glance, but then you realize something is deeply, fundamentally wrong. Its movements are jerky and unnatural. Its eyes are set forward on its head like a predator's, not on the sides. Some say its legs bend the wrong way, or its proportions are all off. Encounters are almost always paired with a powerful gut-level feeling of dread, a sense that you're looking at something that simply shouldn't exist. It's not a deer, it's a not deer. This New Age cryptid joins a whole bestiary of older Appalachian legends, like the Wampus Cat. With roots in Cherokee folklore, the Wampus Cat is a terrifying, shape-shifting creature that's half woman, half cat, with glowing eyes. One origin story tells of a woman who used magic to defeat a demon, and her spirit became fused with a mountain cat, destined to roam the mountains as a protector. Another version claims she was a woman cursed for spying on a sacred ceremony. Protector or cursed soul, the story of the Wampus Cat has been the perfect reason to keep kids from wandering into the woods after dark for generations. From spectral lights and a deadly poltergeist to a phantom harbinger and creatures that defy nature, the Appalachian Mountains hold their secrets close. These aren't just stories. They're woven into the very fabric of the region, passed down through generations, blurring the line between fact and folklore. They are fueled by the isolation of the deep woods and the unwritten rules that locals know by heart. If you hear your name called in the woods, know you didn't. These 5 mysteries are more than just ghost stories. They are enduring puzzles that science has failed to solve, leaving us with questions that might never have answers. What do you think is behind these phenomena? Are they just tall tales, or is there something truly unexplained lurking in America's oldest mountains? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching.